Hey everyone, I am Tanya Grady and I am with Realty One Group. I'm sitting here with Serena Armstrong. She's with Trident Lending, and we are going to brainstorm more options for you. Right now, the market is extremely crazy. It's all over the place. There's high interest rates. People are getting really, really nervous. So we are constantly trying to find ways to help you. We have a really fun program called the 2-1 Buydown program that we're going to talk about today. But first, I want to introduce Serena.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Tanya. I am, just to give you a little bit about my professional background, I am a veteran. I served 20 years in the Air Force. My husband served 24 years. I am also a licensed real estate professional. I am inactive in 2 states, so I have a little bit of background in that area as well. Yes, the 2-1 buy down. Do you want me to go ahead and just start about that product, or did you want to ask me questions first?
Yeah, well, you know what? We're seeing so many people use this, and I don't think enough people really know what this program is about, how powerful it could be. So, let's dive into that. Tell me about that.
So this is not a new program. It is a program that's been out there for a while. It just hasn't been needed. And now that the market is shifting to becoming a buyer's market and that the interest rates are increasing, we've seen this product kind of resurface, for lack of a better term. Now, have it be confused with it's a temporary buy down, not a permanent buy down. So when individuals respond, they hear buy down and they think discount points. So that's not what this is. This is a temporary buy down. So what happens is if a buyer is locked in at an interest rate, then for the first 2 years, that interest rate is decreased by 2 percentage points. So that lowers their monthly payment. Now, it cannot be funded by the buyer or the borrower. It has to be funded by the seller. So it would be a seller credit for the buyer. So the first year it would be 2. So for instance, I just locked in someone today at 6.625, right? Again, that's just, it depends on loan amount, location, so I can't say that that is today's rate, so please don't quote me on it. But however, just to give you an idea, so for his first year, he's going to pay on 4.625, and then his second year is going to be 5.625, and then that third year, it's capped. So that's where we calculate it. He will let the seller know, I need this much money in those funds. The seller will give will be a seller credit. Those funds will stay in a escrow account, a bank account, and they will fund that difference between the 4.625% and that 6.625% in the first year. So that's kind of how it works.
That's amazing. I mean, those rates right now are creeping up to 7%. So to think that you can have a 5% interest rate right now, that is amazing. So you said that it's a seller's credit. So
Yes.
What kind of credit are we looking at asking for? How does that work?
What it would be good is to get with their mortgage professional and ask, okay, can you run the figures on this purchase price and today's rate? What does that look like? How much seller credit do I need? For instance, when I ran it on previous figures, so like the seller needs to provide $12,000 credit, so that the buyer knows this is at least what I need. And if he doesn't use it, let's say the seller it's a buyer's, or the seller's not in a position to do much negotiating, and offers a higher seller credit. Let's say the seller credit gives the buyer $20,000. So, and the buyer only needs $12,000 towards the 2-1 buy down. Any remaining funds can be held towards closing costs. So that's another thing to think about too.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. That's really good information. So now who qualifies for this kind of 2-1 buy down? Is it open to everyone for all types of loans?
Yes, it is for conventional and VA home loans. Now, there are some people of our investors are not offering the program right now. However, I do have some that do. So they're looking at 2023. Some of our other investors are going to offer it, but it can be conventional or VA loans. Yes.
Okay. Wow, that's a really good program. I feel like we really do need to educate buyers a little bit more on something like this, because it definitely helps. It's a great option. What we're doing here is, guys, we're really just helping you find solutions, right? So we know that the interest rates are high and they're not going to go down anytime soon, so we don't think so. We don't know what's going to happen. So all we can do is help you find solutions. And I really think this is a great solution for you guys. Is there anything else, Serena? What do you think?
I do. Some people get nervous. Months ago, when this product started bubbling up, some people think that it smells like an ARM, right? Like an adjustable rate mortgage. I'm going to be honest, I was uncomfortable as well. But it's capped. So the borrower has to qualify at that higher rate. So remember, I mentioned a 6.625 rate. Then they have to qualify on that. So they have to be able to handle that payment. So that first payment is 2% lower, and the first year, 1% lower in the second, and it's going to be capped. So that's where it's different than an ARM. An ARM is lower in the beginning, but you don't know how long, how high it's going to go later. And then also something to think about is if you can't afford the house at this higher rate, it's not the right price point for you. So, we don't like our clients to stretch themselves too thin, guaranteed, you never know what the future holds. So you need to plan on having to make that payment in the future should rates not decrease. Now, let's say the rates do decrease. Then what is great is if there's any fund and the buyer wants to refinance, if there are any funds left over, as I mentioned, let's say there's 12,000 in the pot, right? In a year, the rates go down. And let's say, just throwing rough numbers out there, there's $6,000 left in that pot that has not been used for that second year. Then the remaining $6,000, that account will go to their principal. When they refinance, it'll come off the principal. So it doesn't go away. The buyer doesn't lose it. They're able to apply it to their principal balance when they refinance.
Okay. Perfect. So is there a catch to all of this? So is there like fine print, or is it just like as straight as that?
It's straight as that. The biggest thing is to make sure that they know that it is going to be capped, and in the third year, it's going to be constant. It's going to be at that higher rate between years 3 and 30, assuming a 30-year fixed loan.
Okay. And is there anything locking them into there, or are they able at that point to refinance at that point after the third year?
Yes, they can, and they can refinance before that third year as well if rates decrease.
So that's perfect, because if the rates do go down, go find yourself a lower rate, right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, no, this is great information. So I'm going to give you guys all of Serena's information, her name, number, email address, so that you guys can reach out to her if you have any other questions. I definitely appreciate you joining us in this call and telling us all about this program. And if you have any questions, reach out to either one of us.
Thank you so much, Tanya. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a great day, everyone.
You too. Bye.